Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fearless Now. Today's topic is, do you need a college degree to be successful or land a great job? It seems like, everything that Mike and I are reading or listening to, whether it's, the Freakonomics podcast or articles that are coming out around the drop in college admissions more recently, and then this entire topic around needing a college degree to land a great job or be on the path to success. So this is the age-old debate, and it's now being compounded by the data that we're seeing on college admission rates. So I wanted to actually give you guys a few statistics. So recently, 500,000 fewer students enrolled in college in 2020 compared to 2019. So that was a 3% drop. And an additional 500,000 are expected to have torn up their applications, according to preliminary data. So this is not really hurting, the Harvards of the world, but the colleges that are being affected are the community colleges. That enrollment is really down, which has an impact in terms of low-income students and students of color that are trying to enroll in four-year colleges or just simply not enrolling, and those levels have dropped. So Mike and I were kind of having this debate: does fewer students enrolling now equal to fewer grads seeking high-paying jobs later? So Mike, would love for you to chime in, and then I have more stats to cover.
So when Dipali mentions the age-old debate, I agree with that statement, because I very much remember having this conversation with my parents in the 90s, late 90s. So for the younger of you, people lived in that age back in the day. So I started college in 95 as a pre-med. That was my idea of what I will do in the future. But then very quickly I switched to computer science. And this was, for those that remember, the Y2K years, where there are a lot of people were needed for software development in order to fix the Y2K issue. So pretty much within a year of studying computer science, you could get a job, and you didn't really need a degree even then. And then through my career, I've hired a number of people, and some of them are some of the better developers that I've ever seen that never finished high school, not only college. So within my world of the first 15 to 18 years of software development, I met many that did not have a college degree, and I never looked at their resume for college, like which college they finished. What I gave them is a test, how well they can code. And based on what we discussed, we've been discussing for a long time now as part of Fearless, as part of our family conversations, there are a bunch of articles that support that, and we'll share those links, and we'll show you on the screen as well even the 10 jobs that today do not require a college degree, as well as there are a myriad of jobs that are coming up that colleges will just not be prepared to train kids for.
Yeah, and I think that's where this debate is happening, where I think colleges again are being disrupted, and we're seeing trade schools evolve, and we're seeing apprentice models evolve, and so on and so forth. And some of the things that we are building at Fearless is an opportunity for teenagers starting at this age to really start showcasing or showing off their skills that they are building. And you build these skills through experience and not necessarily school, right? There's an element of school that is helpful, and then there's this element of experience that lets you kind of become a more whole or well-rounded person. And that's really the debate that has happened over the last few years. And if you're thinking about the stats that I just read, since 2012, there's been a steady decline. So actually, I wanted to talk about, so I was listening to this podcast, Freakonomics, as I normally do, and there was an economist and a public school university professor that homeschooled his kids, and says that the college education system, the education system that he's in now, teaching currently, is broken. And I think this is the conversation that is now at the forefront of the dialogue in America, let alone globally. So it's really important. I feel that this is a conversation that's becoming more prevalent, and the pandemic really kind of pushed us over the edge as well regarding this.
And what we teach in Fearless is importance of thinking about numbers and look at statistics and follow the trends, right? Not necessarily where the puck is now, but where the puck is going. And what was interesting that even before COVID, and we're seeing symptoms, or not necessarily symptoms, the outcomes of the pandemic even amplify that the only 70% of high school students went to college, and only 35 of them, like the half of the 70, 35 out of 100 high school students would graduate college. Out of those that graduate, within 2 years, only 25% of people are still working in what they studied in college. So if the college is not preparing you for real life, not in psychology, not in teamwork, not in financial literacy, not in how the global markets work, and even in the previous statistics, very quickly out of college, you no longer do the things that you learn in college. Like, what is the purpose of college?
Yeah. Well, and this professor was saying that the reason why he homeschooled his children was he felt that the public education system, or the public school system, K through 12, focused on a lot of things that were just completely wasteful or unnecessary. And he had a very extreme view. But what he did was he doubled down on the things that were interesting to his kids and what his kids wanted to pursue. So playing to their strengths. And those are the things that we, if you think about very practically, right? I truly feel that you can learn to do any job, right? I mean, aside from like the specialized functions of being a doctor and
you should not be learning surgery on YouTube.
I'm not going to be, I will not, I promise I will not take that up. Although I am pretty good at taking out splinters from, my son's finger at times. So, just having a steady hands. But needless to say, some specialized professions, we totally get that. But if you're talking about project management, you're talking about being an analyst and just being able to research and think critically, and maybe go into equity research in the financial world, or even I would say data science, for example. You can take a course and apply that very practically as you want to become data literate, right? And all the other things about data storytelling and other aspects of that job, you can learn on the job. And a lot of your soft skills will come into play from that perspective. So you can see, like, look, even the crypto markets, as novel as they are, nobody knew what it was. You just have to dive in. Mike, you had a comment.
So this is a great, this is a great example of what Deepali is outlining. So I'm currently working through this. It's a Anderson Horowitz crypto school that they had a semester in spring for startup founders to learn what is blockchain and what it brings and opportunities. They posted all of this on YouTube. So all of these videos are YouTube videos. I'm now making my way through that, and it's phenomenal education that I don't know how many universities will have access to this type of content to create themselves.
Yeah. And think about this. You can go to Andreessen Horowitz, you can go to that website, you can learn about crypto, and you can become a blockchain analyst at any of these companies and just kind of dive in. So that could be a really a fruitful career path for you if you're going if you have interest in that realm. So I think, look, we wanted to show I guess the supportive nature of this data that we have been really keeping a close eye on, of what's happening in colleges. Where are your students going? Parents, are you discussing, college or no college? for your students, and what are they planning on doing, and how are they planning on getting experience, or what fields are they interested in, and is college the answer? And if it's not, how are they going about their job search if they want to enter the job market? So would love to have that debate with you. We hope that you continue to follow us on LinkedIn and our various other social media handles. We do a lot of posting around this topic, but please join the conversation and give us some thoughts around how your kids have handled this or are thinking through whether or not they want to go to college, and do they equivocate college to success?
We'll share 2 articles, or we'll share 3 links. So one of them is the college enrollment. So that's where Deepali was quoting some of the stats from. And like this article is from the careers website. It talks about 10 high-paying jobs that don't require a college degree. If you've been following us or you've been following the industry, you probably know that Facebook, Google, Amazon, Microsoft no longer require college degree, and some of them are also removing the high school degree requirement for a number of jobs, not all of them. You already heard me. I'll just reiterate. In software development, if you're good with math and you have logic, you can be a good software developer. Within 12 months, you can be a junior developer. Within 3 years, mid-level. Within 5 years, senior, making 100,000 plus, and in some markets, 200,000 plus. And then the other article is from Harvard Business Review that also talks about the fact that you don't need a college degree to land a great job, and it gives you quite a few pointers on how to look at it, how to think about it. So think about what you post on social, right? Personal brand. We were teaching about that in August. Look at your media profiles. How much of it is content that you're proud of versus TikTok challenges that are probably not as relevant to your professional career. Highlight HPs and experience in job descriptions, right? Like look at what is required. And then pay attention to the people you follow, like what do they post about? And then prove your passion. So if you're passionate about blockchain or NFT or whatnot, study it and then become a thought leader by creating content around this.
And that's a really good point. Being in the recruiting space, right? Even becoming a recruiter, the barrier to entry is very low, right? So, and having a very high-powered recruiting career with a 6-figure plus, salary potential, it's very easy, and there's not a lot preventing somebody getting into this field or getting into sales if you're able to communicate well. It's really easy for you to pick up some different functions that you're sort of naturally good at. So like for example, I'll just what Harvard Business Review was talking about there, showcasing your skill sets or reaching out because you are passionate about a certain subject area. I guarantee you, if you were passionate about crypto or blockchain and you emailed one of the hiring managers at Coinbase talking about how much research you've done, this is your area of interest, I guarantee you can get your foot in the door and have a conversation with them, at least at the onset, for an entry-level position, because they're hiring like crazy, the field is growing like crazy, and it's a frothy market. So whether or not you have college degrees, so for the high schoolers that are out there that potentially are listening on this channel or others, there's so many opportunities. And not to say that your parents won't reprimand you for not choosing college, but there are other paths to success, and I think we need to open our minds to that.
On that note, and that's sound advice, we'll finish today's session. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.